War, Normandy, death. Tonight on my show, we'll be interviewing 3 guests, each veterans of World War II. 1 German, 2 American. After each interview, we'll be having raw, unseen footage about the war. Be prepared. Hey everybody, the Dave Stewart Show. My first guest tonight is Oliver Daniels, a World War II veteran in the invasion of Normandy. Nice having you on the show, Oliver.
Thanks.
Alright. Now, I'd like to start off with the first question. As most of us know, Eisenhower was the leader of you guys, the Allies. In this invasion, what do you think about him, or how do you feel about him as a leader?
I feel Eisenhower was one of the most well-respected leaders of World War II, and he wrote a note once saying that if we did not succeed, then he would take full blame for the whole failure.
That's a big responsibility.
Yes.
Wow, great general. Alright, so now, another question. I'm not really sure if you would know this, but do you have any opinions as of what helped mold Eisenhower into the man he was as a leader?
Well, I'm not really familiar about life and power to war, but I did hear his parents raise him extremely strict. I think this is an act on him about his whole life. He was a very competitive man. He hated losing more than he did winning. He also had a temper. If you set him off, then the best thing to get out is to get out of the way. But I think the mixture of competitiveness and temper helped create the great leader he was today.
So parents' influence.
Yep.
Has a big thing on you. So moving towards just like you as a soldier, what was your role in the invasion?
I was what one of the veterans called a runner, in which we literally ran for our lives to try and get to the end of the beach and secure it.
Fast a bit. Yeah. Alright, so could you describe it, the atmosphere, what it was like?
Our entry was on the Higgins boat, and we couldn't really see or hear anything we couldn't really see anything but gunshots and just the waking of the boat.
Hear the whistles go by?
Yeah, the whistling of the bullets. And then we would just hear get out, and the draw would dump, and we would go and just sprint towards the beach, which was 200 yards of just beach with no cover.
Scary.
Yeah.
Is the water cold?
Water was freezing.
Must have been a good swimmer too.
Yeah.
I hate swimming.
With 80
Cold
pounds
water.
on your back.
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, I'm glad you made it.
Thank you.
Thank you for serving our country.
Thank you. America.
America.
Go, 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 go! Ah! There they are! Ah! 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 Ah!
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Dave Stewart Show. Our last guest was kind of out there, but our next guest, he'll tone it down a little bit. But he too was also a World War II veteran. He fought in the invasion of Normandy and the Battle of Stalingrad. His name is Samuel Smith. Can everyone please give him a warm welcome?
Woo!
Thank you. Thank you. Good to have you on the show tonight. Alright, so as I just said, you fought in both battles, but the first one I want to talk about is the Battle of Stalingrad. Could you give us a description of what happened that day?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for having me here. The Battle of Stalingrad, as you know, it was one of the bloodiest battles of all time, with over 2 million casualties. The Germans felt that taking over Stalingrad would give them an advantage in the war overall, so they put a lot of importance on it. Hitler, he really emphasized this battle because he felt that if they won this, they could win the whole war and take over.
Greedy, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the German forces were dying by the second, basically, and they wanted to withdraw, but Hitler told them to stay there. And obviously, we know that wasn't one of his brightest decisions because the Germans ended up not winning. And many consider the Battle of Stalingrad the turning point in the war.
Yes, but I think for us Americans, there's a different one we like to think of.
Yeah,
you also fought in that, the invasion of Normandy.
Yes,
there we go. So, could you give me an overview of what happened that day?
Yeah, I had lots of nightmares that day. I even wake up in the middle of the night and sweating, so it's hard to get these memories out of my head. But on the morning of June 6, 1944, the Allies invaded Normandy, and basically our objective was to just make it on the beach and secure it, so we really needed to capture that beach.
Yes, yes. And so, I know about the army, and of course it's like pace, gotta go. So right after you capture it, I'm sure you guys didn't take time to rest.
Yeah.
What were your next orders, proceeding orders?
Yeah, we didn't celebrate at all. So after we secured Omaha, our next objective was to prepare continuing inland towards France to liberate it. And the overall goal was to get to the heart of Germany, where Hitler was. Although we were victorious in capturing the beach, there are many, many casualties. And I can even recall seeing my own friend die right beside me. Bullet straight to the head.
At least it was instant.
Yeah, but I couldn't sit there and mourn because I had to keep fighting. So I believe our leadership of the higher ranks was so strong that they reassured us that we expected success, so we felt invincible.
Yes. The higher ranks. Talk more on that note. Do you think so? What were some tactics by the higher ranks that kind of helped you be successful in this battle?
Yeah. First of all, the night before the invasion of Normandy, we captured the roads that led to the beach, so the enemy forces couldn't get reinforcements there as quickly. And also our invasion was led by an air assault to weaken the forces right away, so we would have full force, but they wouldn't. But really the main tactic that we used during the battle was that we convinced the Germans and French that we were going to attack other beaches. We actually made fake weapons and tanks that we stationed, and we made it out of wood. And really the critical mistake that the enemies made were they just took a plane with radar and flew it over, and all the radar detected was that there were tanks there. They couldn't realize that they were not real. So
Play of chicken.
yeah.
Yes.
So they obviously stationed their people at that beach that they thought we were going to attack, and therefore weakening their forces all over the place. So it's kind of like a two-front war thing. So it made it much easier for our invasion. So in my opinion, we were able to win the battle because of these tactics used. It's basically just a mental war.
All right. Well, it was nice to hear from you.
All
Glad
right,
to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Hugo, get it!
I got it! Oh!
Wait, Hugo! It's fake! Hugo, we can't handle them!
Welcome back to the Dave Stewart Show. Our next and final guest is named Hugo Stewart. As you can tell, he's a German soldier, so we can get a perspective on the other side of the war. Please give a warm welcome to Hugo.
Yeah! Woo!
It's Hugo Stiglitz.
Oh, so I apologize about that. Talking about the invasion of Normandy, which you were part of, I'd like to begin asking you from the other side, what was your general like?
Gert von Runst. To most, our general seemed like a strict man who expected nothing less than perfectness. But in all reality, he was a carefree man who would even crack jokes at the right times, although we still know we had to perform our best in front of him. Did you know even Dwight Eisenhower was caught saying Runst was the best German general?
I did not.
This just shows the kind of man he was, to get respect from the great Dwight Eisenhower.
I'd have to agree with you on that. On your side of the story, the German side, what do you think, in your opinion, was the cause of Normandy? Why did this invasion happen?
Well, those Americans knew Normandy was very important to us in the war. They knew if they would be able to take it over, we'd be done. It'd be all over for us, and they did. They caught us with the element of surprise.
Do you think your guys' fall at Omaha had anything to do with those higher up in your army?
I'm not absolutely positive on this. I did hear some controversy between Hitler and other generals. Runst wanted tanks on the beaches for help, and another German general did not. Hitler decided to compromise by splitting the tanks in half. It seemed like a good settlement, but it really didn't work out, which may have led to our demise in the war.
So you had more tanks in one area, but on the other it kind of helped?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it helped us out. Ooh, thanks, Hitler. So, from that perspective again, what was the atmosphere like at the invasion of Normandy?
In one word, loud.
Alright, there we go. So, talking about the invasion of Normandy again, what do you think the effect of this battle had on you guys, rest of the war?
Well, when their invasion of Normandy was successful, they essentially had us surrounded. Their plan was to make us fight a two-front war, and it worked. If we continued to fight, we knew we'd all be dead.
Do you think that there was something your men and you guys could have done differently to have a different outcome?
Honestly, no. They came at us, like I said, with the element of surprise. All of a sudden, we see these hundreds of ships coming at us. Me and my fellow men did a decent job at destroying a few of them, but there were just too many. They came on the beach and slowly got up to us. They simply had a better strategy than us.
Yes, and I'm sorry to say it from my side, I'm happy for that. It's a pleasure having you on our show tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hugo, they're coming! The Nauticon! Hugo, no! Get in the water! Get in the water right now! And stay there! When I say standing, I mean get standing head to toe! Get in there! Get Sandy!